Hi there, happy today. Michelle Lee here. Day 14 inside the video matrix, blasting past fear. Today's topic is a fun one. It is, are you a peer pressurer or are you easily peer pressured? And I went back to the memory bank and I think, back to when I was younger, I really feel like my sister was the first person that has ever peer pressured me. And in ways like things that she wanted to do that she wanted me to do too. Like, I'll never forget, like she told me, when I was like 14, she told me I had to get my eyebrows done. And and I believed her. I thought like I had to do that. And then she also told me there's like this there's this like little area from the belly button, below your belly button. My sister's like, yeah, you have to shave your stomach. Like, not my whole stomach, but shave any hair. This is when I'm like 14, mind you, 15 years old. She's like, yeah, you have to get rid of that, like for a bathing suit. My sister's 5 years older than me. And I did that. Like, I just, the next thing you know, like I shaved like my little part of my stomach. And then next thing you know, like I had to do it all the time. And by the time I was in like my late teens, early 20s, I ended up having laser done on it, laser hair removal, because like what the heck, I started growing like more hair than was originally there. And not to give you all these details, but my sister peer pressured me and I believed her, and she'd always have me doing stuff. And as a young kid, I just went with what my older sister thought. And then I stopped doing that. I stopped following her suit when I just realized, I'm like, is she just trying to lead me down like a dark hole of having to shave my whole body or something? And so there's that. But as I get older, I definitely became, I want to say, the peer pressurer, but not like, oh, hey, peer pressure you to go do drugs or peer pressure you to do things that are going to be harmful to you. That's not the kind of peer pressure I was. I peer pressured people to do things that I wanted to do, like anything. I would basically just sell my position on why I wanted to do what I wanted to do and why I thought they should join me, if that's the case. And I just remember being so what's the word? Like I put a lot of pressure on myself because I love to do things, and so like who doesn't love company? And so I would get people, I'd put on peer pressure to the point where I push people outside their comfort zones. That is my biggest thing, is pushing people outside their comfort zone. So my peer pressure was always for, to get people a little more uncomfortable with themselves so that they could become comfortable with just what they don't know, if that makes sense. So just, yeah, I just think that's really it. Like, as and the kind of kid that I was growing up, I just wanted what I wanted. I wanted to have my friends with me, and I wanted to just do fun things all the time. And if someone like didn't want to go with me, like let's say if I had a group of girlfriends and I was like, I'm heading this way and I'm gonna go do this, and then like if they decided they weren't gonna join me, like I'm gonna just go home or whatever, I'm like, see you later, and I would just keep going. And eventually they thought like maybe I would beg them to stay or not. I'm like, nope, either you want to join me or you don't. I'm not gonna peer pressure you to stay longer than you want to, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think a little peer pressure can go a long way for the good, but I also see and believe that peer pressure can go the opposite way, pushing people down dark paths. And that's not the kind of pressure that I'd ever want to put on anybody or have put on to me. And I'm thankful that I've never been pushed down a dark path, if that makes sense, by somebody else. So yeah, so that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm sure things will come to me after this video and later today, but for the most part, I think we all are a little bit of both. And there is a healthy balance in that. And so I think to a degree it's a great thing to have a little bit of both. And that is day 14 inside the video matrix. And I'm curious, were you a peer pressurer or were you peer pressured? And if so, what was that? And yeah, when I think about things and I'm like, I put the pressure on myself. Like, no one could ever pressure me to do things that I didn't exactly want to do in the moment. Like, sure, like shaving my eyebrow. I mean, getting my eyebrows waxed or shaving my stomach. Like, that's my, I thought I had to do that as a girl. And I learned that you don't. So if you're watching this, I don't recommend shaving your stomach. I always recommend waxing eyebrows, though. Someone who's really good. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day 15. And if you didn't notice, I got my hair did finally after like a year and a half of not doing it. That's it. Talk to you tomorrow.